We don't promote positive and ownership of your company. I'm making it cool to be smart.
What's going on with all my billionaires out there? This the guy Hoods Billionaire. Welcome to Hoods Billionaire TV. Big favor, big abundance. It's cool to be smart. On today's episode, we're gonna be talking about Thugger finally free, pleading guilty, getting 40 years. But it's not what you think. Let's talk about it. So, young Thugger, man, he was finally released. The judge went ahead and issued a sentence. He went ahead and pled guilty to lesser charges. And he was sentenced to 40 years, and that was converted to 5 years in prison, which they converted that to time served based on the time that he already spent. It's about 2.5 years. And then he got 15 years on probation with 20 years in prison if he fails probation. So they kind of hit him with the stunt right there. I mean, that's pretty much it. If Thug didn't learn anything, if it's any buck still left in him to be out here gang banging and being a menace, because that's what he's accused of. That's what they saying that he did. If any of that is still in him, they are ready to throw him back in there to serve a dub, for a probation violation. So it's gonna get kind of tricky, man. 15 years probation is a really long time. So he really gonna have to walk a straight narrow path, like for real. Like you're not gonna be able to play, with something like this. And if they telling you, if you violate, we gonna give you a 20 piece. So we gonna see what happens, man. So young Thug finally free. Now there were some stipulations with his probation. He's pretty much banned from the metro Atlanta area, so he gonna have to move. He gotta vacate in the next 24 to 48 hours. He has to be out of Atlanta, not allowed to come back to Atlanta unless it's for a wedding or a funeral or I believe like a major medical emergency for somebody in his immediate family. Other than that, he's not allowed to come back to Atlanta. So they pretty much got him kicked out of Atlanta. There's a lot of people I remember they were banned, asking for that for Quando Rondo, for him to be banned from the part of Georgia that he from. They pretty much saying that he, that's a part of the stipulations where he got into the most trouble at. He not allowed to come back. Okay, he has to do 4 presentations a year against gang violence. So 4 presentations a year against gang violence can't be. He has to, and they said that can be a show. You know what I'm saying? Some type of, he can do a music, concert, and as long as it's against gang violence, he has to do some form of presentation denouncing gang violence. So they threw that in stipulations also as well. Also, he can only travel to work or to make music. That's it. You know what I mean? Those are stipulations of his movement. Can't just travel for leisure anymore. He has to travel only for work or to make music. You know what I mean? So if it doesn't have anything to do with music or doesn't have anything to do with probably like label dealings or things of that nature, if he still has any endorsements left, stuff like that. Okay. No contact with gang members or co-defendants. Okay, so he is not allowed to be in contact with any known gang members, okay, or any of his co-defendants except for his brother and Gunna. And I believe that's because they still signed to the label. So Gunna still got motion. That's good. Hopefully they can pair that up, you know what I'm saying, and repair that. According to Gunna, he never had nothing negative to say, but you never heard him go out and speak against young Thug. You know what I mean? You never heard him have nothing bad to say about Thug. And we gonna see how that happens. Thug really the missing piece. If Thug squash it and say, nah, he good, he ain't rat. You know what I mean? We talked about it, and he told me that he was gonna do that. So, you know what I'm saying? If he able to do that, if they able to reconcile, then everything will work out. Cause Gunner gonna be his ticket back to, being at the top. Young Thug, I'm not really the biggest Young Thug fan musically, you know what I mean? He got some hits, but with him and Gunna is the one that kind of push they thing to the top, transition a piece to Rich Homie Quan, but Gunna the one that take they thing to the top. You know what I'm saying? So I believe if he get that back repaired with Gunna get back repaired with Lil Baby, they all get back in the mix, Atlanta will be back on top. They'll be doing their thing, okay? And also, he cannot promote gangs in any way. So no more slat, no more slime, no more bullying, no more none of that. No B talk, no none of that, okay? They said that is in violation of his probation stipulations. No more gang talk. No more gang talk. No more bullying. No more none of that. No more gang signs in the videos. None of that. Okay. So, I mean, those are pretty much all of the stipulations. I mean, the state was recommending to give him like 45 years. So he definitely got with 20 served in prison. That's what they wanted to give him. But the judge was pretty fair, you know, in regards to this situation. Now, if Thug did do any of the stuff that they led to and he got off, man, I mean, this just, it's a sign, man. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is, bro. That's a sign. He has to change the way he think. He gotta change the way he move. He has to, you know, be on a different type of time, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, the hit that type of time that he was on, right? Allegedly, that's not the type of time that's gonna get him, you know, where he wants to be, you know, and where he wants to remain, which is free. So he gonna have to be on a different type of time, more positive human being. Nothing wrong with that. Have more growth in his life. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? And we gonna see. Are we wishing the best for Thug? 15 years probation is a slippery slope. If he really committed to being a better man and a better human being, then he'll, you know, maneuver and be okay. You know what I mean? So he out. YFN Lucci should be out soon. You know, one thing that I can say about both of these guys, I heard this on the Breakfast Club. Shout out Charlamagne the God. He said, bro, neither, you know, the nigga and me say neither one of these guys snitched. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't that in our toxic culture? We supposed to celebrate that. So, yes, Thug never told on one person, even when he was staring down a life in prison. Never said nothing about nobody. So, you know, we definitely know that he gon' stand on what he gotta stand on, and he gonna go through what he gotta go through, and he's gonna, you know what I mean, be that person. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see how that works out for him. We're gonna see how everything works out. But he free now. You know, if him and YFN Lucci, you know, I don't think they'll ever be friends because blood been shed, but I believe they can go on about their separate ways. So happy he free. I know Mariah the Scientist happy he free. Thug, you need to go ahead and marry her because she held it down for you, man. So sound like a lot of good news, man, but we gonna just keep you updated, man. This the guy who's being our big favor, big abundance. It's cool to be smart. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. This the guy who's being our big favor, big abundance. I'm gone.